Hi again. So not to waste any time, the waste disposer is basically a barracks tower. The worst barracks tower in the franchise. His units have decent health, but they get killed almost immediately. And his ground zero is more like ground 10 seconds countdown, but still not zero, with no real damage. Overall bad tower. Underground Workers is also a barracks tower, but it does its job better than the tower before. Every 9 seconds it spawns an underpaid mine worker, as it can sense the presence of his mortal enemy, a hillbilly riding an alligator. In rare cases miners call their dad. Sniper Nest is a tower that does solid single unit damage, but bad group damage. It's good for bosses, that's why it's in C tier. Looking at every other aspect, it has great range and its ability basically does what it says. It one-shots enemies. Fire trucker or an average Bosnian gas station worker has decent range. His damage is a little bit on the weak side, but its area of effect makes up for it. His ability is balanced, and it covers a good amount of the track. He is best used in one-lane maps and for biker enemies because his main attack has DOT. Micer 3000 would go in B tier subjectively because it gets you from insane early game enemy waves. It turns enemies into sheep that are slow and do no damage. Its ability, and the fact that it does no damage, is what decided its fate in C tier. Mad Scientist Inferno Tower, Blazing Gem, Mad Scientist is kinda balanced in this game. His ability couldn't get more creative, but other than that, seriously, I don't need to explain this type of tower. Solid against bosses and campaign levels. Its flaw is that it needs help from other towers to stall the enemies because he's almost useless otherwise. Lumberjack could easily be an A tier, but it's a great tower for a specific playstyle. While the towers in A tier are great no matter what or how you play the game, the tower itself does not target air units, but his main attack could jump up to a flying enemy. He has solid single unit and group damage, and his ability does great AoE damage even to flying enemies, and all that with pretty good range. His ability could have some copyright issues in the future though. Machine Gunner, a Rambo on the back of a truck, has to go in A tier nonetheless, guns aside. It's the most stereotypical of every tower in the game, because it's just damage, stop, damage. He does good damage on every map, short range, but it makes it up with his DPS. Output. His ability is a lot of damage even for boats. It has good synergy with every tower, but it's not the best tower in the game because some beat him on few levels in terms of practicality. Like this next one. Mortal Mortar is easily the best tower in the game because it covers a fair amount of the map. Does great single unit damage as well as group damage. Its ability is amongst the common ones in Kingdom Rush World. Although it does a lot of damage if it hits, I wouldn't risk a malfunction because it occurs quite often. Can solo most of the maps, and it synergizes with every tower the best because it lowers the enemy's health enough that even Chernobyl disposer units can kill them off. Command Center. Command Center after the recent buff got a lot of helpful bugs, which include the placement of towers on its area as well as some buffing bugs, but that's for another video. Bugs aside, the Command Center is the most broken support tower in the franchise. It gives towers insane damage boost in exchange for no damage output by itself. The tower also has good range and it can buff up to 3 towers with each tower dividing the buff to every tower in range by 1/3. His ability is trash, but imagine Mortal Mortar with 136% buff of his main attack. Now we have finished ranking the towers by their overall use in the game. It's time to statistically rank them in DPS, range, etc.
a luck.
The hunt is on. I ain't got all day.
The war never ends. Hope is a mistake. I am the road warrior.
The hunt is on.
Your luck runs out. Go fetch.
I ain't got all day.
The war never ends. I'll turn you into cheese.
Aim to the head.
Hope is a mistake. I am the road warrior. What a lovely day!